Today is October 19th, 2011, and I'm doing a little bit of a quick, short notice tour of Catholic workers' houses in St. Louis, Missouri. And here we are at the Catholic worker named
Carl Kabat.
Right, no, this
Catholic
house, the house.
Community. We call this the farmhouse.
The farmhouse, okay.
It reminds people of like a farmhouse.
Okay, so we have Carl and Terry. Yes, so Terry, tell us about the farmhouse here.
Originally it's like a 2-flat. It's only about 16 feet wide and 30 feet long.
I see. And Carl was saying this was a gas station, is that right?
Yeah, it was. It was built around 1870.
1870.
And then it was converted into a gas station at one point. But we don't tell people that.
Oh, I see. Okay, we didn't.
That's okay.
Okay, we don't know that. Okay. All right.
My wife Carolyn Griffith and I and our 2 sons live here.
Sorry. Okay.
So it was an interesting place when we first bought it because we bought it from an older Polish woman who had stayed here. Her and her husband had moved in 1935.
35, and she lived here until what year, more or less?
2002.
When you purchased the house.
Yeah, when we purchased the house. Yeah.
And I bet it needed a lot of work.
Yeah. So it needed.
Yeah.
It needed a lot of work.
So Terry, you were telling me you have a little greenhouse that we can see right now because it's dark, but you also did a lot of work to this house. And how do you heat this house?
We heat with wood.
With wood.
A forced air furnace.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah. That is hooked to a gas, like natural gas furnace.
Wow. But and you heat with wood, and inside that furnace you also have.
Inside it we have a loop.
A loop.
In the shape of a U. Right. That's stainless steel. And that's hooked up to the hot water heater.
The water heater.
It siphons.
Sure.
With the heat, it siphons the water out of the hot water heater and then back into it.
Into the tank.
So without any kind of pump or anything.
So when you have the fire going, you don't really need to use gas. But when you don't have the fire, you just have the gas water heater.
In fact, in previous years, the gas company has sent us letters suspecting that we were stealing the gas because
cheating.
We use more gas in the summer.
Yes.
Because we're heating the.
You guys got something up your sleeve here.
We must be doing something. Yeah.
Did they ever come and inspect it, or
they
did?
Yeah.
And what did they say? I mean, they of course
they just look and and I explained to them.
There's not much they could say or do.
Yeah, and I asked them, could you make a record of this somewhere so people would. So it doesn't happen next year, but it happens pretty much every year.
Is that right? Yeah. The computer, it's probably a computer-generated thing that's, the graph shows this, and so, wow.
So we've tried to use as much recycled and reused material.
Right on. Yeah, you were telling me you made the frames out of recycled something, right? The frames of the windows here.
So the trim and everything in the house is recycled bleachers.
Wow. So you did
fur.
And you did some extra insulation too. And how did you do that?
Yeah. So we framed out the walls and used a denim insulation.
Okay, denim. So you pretty much stick in the walls originally are brick, right?
Yeah. The original walls would have been maybe about 6 inches thick. Yeah, it would have been, and this is important, it was just plaster on brick.
So no insulation whatsoever. I mean, you wonder how the people coped, in the old days,
Well, every room had a fireplace. So in these houses like this behind me here.
Yeah.
Where the kitchen is, there's a flue that goes up to the, past the roof.
Can you imagine all the wood that people used? And I mean, those fireplaces are known to not be very efficient.
Yeah, but but worse, it was cold.
Right.
So every time we do like rehab on one of these buildings, the older buildings once we start peeling the roof off, there's just an amazing amount of coal dust. That is
not very healthy.
But it's
But
it's evidence of,
Wow, so this is going to be your first winter with the whole new insulation system then?
Yeah, with the new insulation.
Wow, so you expect to use a little bit less wood maybe?
Yeah, we've had a really warm November.
All right, right. Yeah, same up in Iowa.
It's the 19th, and we haven't turned the heat on yet.
Wow, cool. Now, who's the chainsaw person around here? Is that you?
That's me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But Carl and I have probably like last 7 or 8 years.
Did I show you my little chainsaw incident down at my mom's house? I'm gonna quit this here.